If this is your first time visiting this channel, please like, click on the red subscribe button and the bell close to it. Subscription is free. Thank you.
Here we stand as a people with one song, with one voice.
On October 20th, Nigerian soldiers were deployed to massacre the country's own youth, killing at least 12 people who had peacefully assembled to demand accountability for rampant police brutality in Africa's most populous nation. Before this tragedy, now known as the Lekki Massacre, the endsars movement had drawn tens of thousands of Nigerians into the streets for more than 2 weeks, bringing global attention to a rogue unit of the Nigeria Police Force called the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, or SARS, which has a documented history of abusing its power. After promising reform, the government increasingly targeted protesters with violence. The Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, banned public protest and made national curfews. I heard everything else you need to know about the rise and suppression of Nigeria's largest protest movement in generations. One may ask, what does police brutality look like in Nigeria? The endsars movement has taken aim at SARS, a tactical police unit assembled in 1992 to curtail violent crimes such as armed robbery and kidnapping. Over the years, SARS has become the most blatant source of state violence and corruption that citizens encounter. Youth, the demographic propelling endsars, report harassment, bribery, and even kidnapping by SARS officers who criminalize young people for dressing like prostitutes and internet scammers, mainly because they own smartphones and laptops, drive flashy cars, and they have tattoos or dreadlocks. International reports, Nigeria Time to End Impunity, documented 82 horrifying cases between January 2017 and May 2020 of SARS extrajudicial killings, extortion, and torture method, including hanging, mock execution, beating, punching, and kicking, burning with cigarettes, waterboarding, near asphyxiation with plastic bags, forcing detainees to assume stressful bodily positions, and sexual violence. Citizens reporting sites including endsars and the POBIN, police brutality in Nigeria, projects come more testimonies of abuse. One may ask what sparked the protest. On the morning of October 3rd, 2 days after Nigeria celebrated 60 years of independence, a tweet by Chinerugo at Africa Official 2 went viral, sounding an alarm that SARS just shot a young boy dead. Hours later, mobile phone recordings with the hashtag endsars began trending, documenting the gruesome scene of the unidentified young man's lifeless body abandoned on the roadside and citizens pursuing the officers who they witnessed steal the man's Lexus SUV. The following day, many Nigerians shared their own harrowing SARS experience using the hashtag, which actually made its first appearance as a social media campaign and petition 3 years earlier, after a viral police murder in December 2017. This time around, with the mobilizing power of popular influencer on Twitter.
No, we do not want SARS anymore. We're not asking for a reform. We're not asking you to come and do a press conference and tell us, oh, they are not allowed to do this, they are allowed to do this. This has happened multiple times.
The online protests moved to the streets since October 8th. Protesters in 26 of Nigeria's 36 states have organized daily mass demonstrations, vigils, a seat of the National Assembly, and blockades of airports and major roads until the tragedy on October 20th. One may ask, how did the movement grow so effectively? What sets the 2020 endsars movement apart from previous struggles in Nigeria is its inclusive, decentralized leadership and organizing approach. In a broader political system in which women face tremendous barriers to participation, a cadre of young women has taken the aim of mobilizing endsars online and on the front lines, while also coordinating a vast network of mutual aid that has resourced protests across the nation. Since the protest started, the Feminist Coalition, coordinated by 14 women, has crowdfunded more than 147 million naira that was swiftly redistributed with unprecedented transparency to provide protest clusters with food, water, medical care, security, legal aid, and relief for victims of police brutality and their families see endsars protesters insist. We have no leaders, rejecting the elevation of any individual or organization as the face of the movement. For now, this ethic has enabled the movement to sidestep co-optation by the establishment and hijacking by opportunists, which are pitfalls that undermine struggles. Now, someone asked, why is the government attacking endsars protesters? After initially appearing to be responsive, the Nigerian government drastically shifted to outright repression of the movement. Protesters first reported that the government sponsored agents to infiltrate protests, attack protesters, and destroy property to discredit the movement in the first week. The feminist coalition tweeted that their bank accounts were frozen, forcing them to turn to Bitcoin cryptocurrency as censorship-resistant fundraising. Then on October 20th, hundreds of protesters staged a sit in the toll gate in Lekki, a rapidly gentrifying area of megacity Lagos. Live stream captured a crowd of youths jubilating, sitting on the ground, singing the national anthem and waving the Nigeria flag. At nightfall, the chilling sound of live gunfire and fracturing scream rang out, with protesters running for their lives.
Shoot! Let them shoot! Let them shoot! No problem! No problem! Everyone sit down! Sit down! Sit down!
Many still faithfully singing the national anthem within hours. The Twitter account of the Nigerian army callously tweeted that stories of the military gunning down protesters were fake news, even while survivors shared images and videos of military-grade shell, casing, and the bodies of slain comrades. 2 days later, in his first televised address in response to endsars, President Buhari called for an end to the protest, stating that the government would not allow anybody or group to disrupt the peace of the nation, even without direct acknowledging the killings. The message was clear: the Nigerian government is prepared to continue to use force to put down the endsars movement. Now here is the big question: has the endsars achieved its demand after 1 year of nationwide protests? In response to the protest, on October 11th, the Inspector General of Police announced the SARS would be disbanded, and on October 13th, and it will be replaced with the Special Weapon and Tactical Unit, or SWAT. Though this might appear to mark progress in the fight against police brutality in Nigeria, there is good reason to be skeptical of government promises. Since 2015, the Nigerian government has promised several times to reform, restructure, reorganize, and now to disband SARS without prosecuting a single officer for abuse, even after passing anti-torture legislation in 2017. The hashtag 545 scorecard that protesters have adopted show little progress on the 5 core demands from the government. 1. Release arrested protesters. 2. Grant compensation for the families of victims. 3. Create an independent body to prosecute officers. 4. Psychologically evaluate SARS officers before they are re-employed. And 5. Increase salaries of police officers to dissuade them from extortion.
I've seen a video of one police barrack. A beggar cannot stay there.
The use of force against protesters and lack of meaningful progress on demand to date suggests that disbanding and rebranding SARS as SWAT will do little to transform bad policing in Nigeria. This is true of the youth who have led the endsars protest. The self-proclaimed Soke generation, which translates to speak up in Yoruba. This generation, the first to have grown up entirely under civilian regime and yet has nothing to show for democracy, as expressed that the leaders have with the last generation. Protesters have called for the resignation of President Buhari under the hashtag Buhari must go, and are clamoring for a new youth political party, the Youth Democratic Party, ahead of the 2023 election. On this day, we remember those that died during the endsars protest. May their soul rest in peace. If this video was helpful, please click on the red subscribe button on your screen and the bell close to it for notification purpose. Subscription is free, and also you can also drop your comments. Thanks for watching.